Hello everyone, welcome to Get My Class. Today we are going to solve this question which says choose the false statement about the menstrual cycle. Option A, ovum is released during the follicular phase of the menstrual cycle. Option B, menstruation results in breakdown of endometrial lining of the uterus. Option C, menstruation occurs only if the released ovum is unfertilized. Option D, menstruation occurs in continuous bleeders. So let us understand the question. It says choose the false statement. So we are supposed to choose the false statement about what? About menstrual cycle. So first of all, we have to understand what is the meaning of menstrual cycle. Menstrual cycle is a type of a reproductive cycle, okay? Reproductive cycle, which occurs in primates, okay? So where does it occur? It occurs in primates. An example of, you can say best example of primate is human being. So human being, gorilla, monkeys, they all are primates. And these are called as continuous breeders. The organism which follow menstrual cycle, they are called as continuous breeders. Why? Because they can continuously produce the gametes and hence they can reproduce continuously. That they are not seasonal, okay? Whereas the non-primates animals like dog, cat, cow, they all come under non-primate animals and they are called as seasonal breeders because they can reproduce only seasonally. But there is no particular season in case of primates. They can reproduce any time of the year, okay? So that's why they're called as continuous breeders. Now, the menstrual phase has, or you can say menstrual cycle has 4 phases. And what are those phases? The first phase itself is called as menstrual phase, where there is a lot of expulsion of the endometrial layer, blood vessels, the blood vessels will rupture, or you can say the blood capillaries will rupture, which are associated with the endometrial layer. So there is expulsion of endometrial layer, along with a lot of mucus, endometrial layer. Yeah. Along with a lot of mucus and blood also will be released. Okay. That is about menstrual phase. The second phase is the follicular phase, where there are formation of the follicles, like we have formation of primary follicle, secondary follicle, tertiary follicle, and finally the Graafian follicle, which will bear the ovum, and there will be rupturing of the follicle, which will occur in the next phase. So follicular phase, okay. As I told you, during which the follicles are formed, okay, and then further the follicles will be formed and they mature also. Until the formation of Graafian follicle, it is in follicular form phase. Okay. Next comes the ovulatory phase. Ovulatory phase, as the name indicates, there is release of the ovum. Okay, that is release of the ovum from the rupturing of the Graafian follicle. That is why it's called ovulatory phase, and this is the shortest phase. Okay. Then further at the last you call it as luteal phase. So what happens, like the Graafian follicle, once they release the ovum during ovulatory phase, they get converted into corpus luteum. And corpus luteum is the one which produces progesterone so as to build the endometrium again and prepare the body for pregnancy, or you can say prepare the body for the development of the ovum if it gets fertilized. Okay, once it gets fertilized, it will form zygote, and that's how there will be development. Okay, if it does not get fertilized, if the egg does not get fertilized, again next cycle will continue. Okay, again it will get into menstrual phase. There will be release of the endometrial layer, ovum, etc. And that's how it continues if the ovum is not fertilized. So let us look at the option 1. Option A. It says ovum is released during follicular phase of menstrual cycle. No, because ovum is released during ovulatory phase, not follicular phase. So that is the false statement. So that should be our correct answer, right? Now let us see option B says menstruation results in breakdown of endometrial lining of the uterus. Yes, as I told you, during the menstrual phase itself, the first phase itself, there is a release of the endometrial or breakdown of the endometrial lining, and that will be expelled. Okay, so that is the correct statement, but we are looking for the false statement. That's why that is not our answer. Now, option C says menstruation occurs only if released ovum is unfertilized. Yes, absolutely right. If the ovum does not undergo fertilization, only then the menstruation cycle will continue. Otherwise, if it gets fertilized, then it will be the embryogenesis will begin. Okay, menstruation will not happen when once the egg gets fertilized. Okay, if everything goes well, then menstruation will not occur. till the delivery of the baby, and after the delivery of the baby, again it will begin. The cycle will begin. Okay, this is a correct statement, but that is not our answer because we are looking for false statement. Then option D says menstruation occurs in continuous breeders. Yes, as I told you, it happens in primates, and primates are continuous breeder. Hence, this is also correct statement, but again, we are looking for false statement. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option A. Okay, so let us conclude the answer. The answer is option A. I hope you understood the explanation. Thank you, everyone.